Shout out to everybody out there in the world. This is Sound from Club Ambition. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Share your opinion. Share your reaction to UFC 287. Before we start the video, make sure to check out our merch available. Clubambition.store. $20 shirts. Free shipping across the entire country. Merch available right now. I am a huge UFC fan, so I'm going to start doing more recaps the day after the fights when I get the availability to. When I'm able to. Here we have the UFC 287 card. Let's start off with the first fight. We have Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez. I'm a huge, Raul Rosas Jr. fan. His come up right now is a young fighter. But in my opinion, this was an upset fight for him. I think he'll come back. Obviously, he's still fresh into his career. But I expected him to win this one. We have Christian winning. I was kind of catching a tail end win of this fight, so I don't have too much commentary on that one, but I was definitely disappointed. We can move on to now the Kevin Holland fight, which was explosive. Kevin Holland, man, he has this huge beef with Jorge Masvidal, this ongoing energy and this friendship, but now kind of on the fence with Dana White controversy situation. Their friendship is kind of because he wants to fight Jorge and he doesn't want to, Dana didn't want them even talking about that this whole week because what happened before backstage. So he didn't want this to explode. But nonetheless, Kevin Holland went hard. He exploded. He won this fight. He did an amazing fight, especially against Santiago, which I thought, was going to be a tough matchup. Nonetheless, Kevin Holland has been going crazy lately. I think he's he has a lot of fights, but he still has a good amount of, I would say, at least 2-3 years in him of heavy, highlighting. I want him to eventually maybe move up to the main card. What do you guys think? Is that never going to happen in his future? I think he's a main card fighter. It just... we got to see him against better names, right? Moving on, aside from Kevin Holland, we have the Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez fight. Rob Font was Puerto Rican, so I was rooting for him right away. I'm like, Puerto Rican. I didn't know much about him, to be honest, prior to this fight at bantam weight. I didn't know much about the bantamweight fighters. I'm new to the sport. I kind of watch more of the main cards. But Rob Font fucking annihilated the guy. And then Rob Font got a big gush on his face as well. He got bruised up as well. So I'm like, fuck, okay, that happened. That was an amazing fight. Didn't expect it to be that great. So I'm like, all right, starting off great. We got the Kevin Holland, the knockout there, the TKO, the Rob Font knockout. I'm like, this is going to be an amazing night of events. But the Rob Font, keep your eyes on him. I highly recommend him, especially if you're Spanish, Spanish fighters. Rob Font is going to be one of them that I'm going to pay more attention to in the future. Amazing, amazing fight. Now, moving on to the two main cards, the big shabuya, the shit that matters, in my opinion. Overall, respect to the fighters. Masvidal announces his retirement, the last fight of his career. Masvidal has fought 50, what was the total? 52? 57? No, wait, 40? No, 52. 52 fights in total. This is his 52nd fight of his career. That is crazy. He has to be one of the UFC fighters that has the most fights ever, right, in history. He has to have that record. Nonetheless, the King of Miami loses in Miami. I thought that he was going to win. I thought that he was going to go crazy. I'm like, okay, this is in Miami. You're talking all that shit on Joe Rogan's podcast, talking about you want to fuck up Kevin Holland, you want to fuck up Kobe Covington. I'm like, okay, so he's going to have to fuck up Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, being the Gilbert Burns that he is, a good-ass fighter. Masvidal, he didn't really stand a chance to him. He was fucking him up pretty badly, in my opinion. There was some moments where Jorge got some good, ground, but at first there wasn't much contact, a lot of respect there, and then I'm thinking they're going to take this to the ground. They never really got some ground action. Jorge, I think he needs to retire. I hope that he told Joe Rogan has to be accurate. He has to retire. This is it. He's getting too old. It's not safe. You're already rich. You're fucking up your brain, bro. Too much damage. You come from street fighting history background. You already have had fights outside of an actual cage. You fought in the streets. You have too much damage to your brain. It's getting to you, and I think that's what's making him more egotistical, more cocky. Because he's acting like he doesn't have 17 losses. He's acting like he's undefeated. He's acting like he's the top kahuna. brother, you have a lot of classic moments, but we have to humble ourselves. And I think this fight humbled him because right away, he dropped his ego. He had respect for the fighter, right? And he's saying to everyone, basically, this is my last fight. He embraced his son. He got emotional. He was damn near crying. I really feel for the guy, you know, especially as a Spanish person. You know, he always shows love to, like, the Spanish community, Al Noel, like, the people in the media, people in the music industry. Jorge Masvidal has always had a connection with them, and I really respect that because he is a popular person. Now, I think he needs to step away from this and maybe do movies, do something else. He's a star in his own right, but, brother, you are going to fuck up your health. We have to put our health first. You have a son. You have family. Let's move on away from this. Now, don't get me wrong. I would have loved to see a Colby Covington fight, a Kevin Holland fight, but I think we're not going to get that. Obviously. Why? Come on. Especially those guys are better. They're going to fuck him up. They're going to kill him. He's going to die. We don't want to see Jorge Masvidal die. Or maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, leave a comment down below. I'm not a UFC expert. I'm just stating my opinions. I'm just a typical average fan. You know, I love the UFC. Now, moving on to the biggest moment of the night. The motherfucking Izzy knocking out Alex Pereira, the triple threat fight. What do you want to call this? They first met in boxing, kickboxing, right? Alex Pereira, Alex beat him there. Then in the UFC, when Alex came in, Alex beat him there. Alex became the champion early on in the UFC career. He had a long kickboxing career, but UFC, he's fresh, he's newer. Izzy, I'm thinking Israel Adesanya, he's going to be like, okay, this man, you know, I'm talking all this shit. I'm making all these bets before the game. Bet your money on me. Bet your life on me. I'm going to kill this man. I'm like, man, I don't fucking know. 3 times a charm. I think Alex has your card. You're not going to be able to take him down. I don't know. I was reluctant, but I still wanted Israel to win. I'm a huge Izzy fan. Boom. Epic knockout. I can't play it on video to get copyright infringement, but I will replay it. You'll hear the audio, and you're going to watch my reaction. Right? So they're squaring up. They're touching gloves. Boom, boom. Then Alex is like, okay, let me shoot at you. Throw some shots. They touch each other. Izzy slips a bit, right? Boom. Boom. Round's almost ending. You got 50 seconds left. He's throwing punches at Izzy. He's getting him. Then Izzy, pow! Bam! 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 Boom! Incredible. Punch. Combat. Counter. And then the fucking hammer fist. Fa! 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 Fucking epic. Because the thing is that Alex Pereira has that classic, you know, Apache. I don't want to offend nobody's culture, but what do you call that? With the bow and arrow. He did that right before the fight when he was walking into the entrance. And Izzy, right away, fighter's instinct, boom, does it right back when he knocked him out 3 times. Bah! And it's almost symbolic for the 3rd time meeting up. He's like, 1, 2, you got me? 3rd time, I got you. And I knocked you the fuck out. And he mimicked and mocked his son, because Alex Pereira's son mocked during the kickboxing matchup years ago against Izzy. He mocked Izzy knocking out, falling. So Alex's son knocked out, fell on the ground, and it was like, what the fuck? His son is petty. Izzy said, I remember that. So he pointed at his son right after he won, pointed at his son in the crowd, and he did the same thing. And he fell on the ground, and he mimicked it, and he knocked out just like he knocked out his dad. I love the competitive, petty levelness. I love it all. Amazing card. Shout out to Dana White. You know, controversial man. Also, we didn't even talk about Trump being in the building. Trump was in the building. That was like wild, you know, but to each their own. Trump is Dana's friend. We're going to stand by our friends a lot of times throughout their hardships. So I think that's what he was doing. Also, it gives clout to the UFC. It gives clout to the whole night. Shout out to Gideon. He was there. Logan Paul. They had a weird interaction. You know, Steve will do it. The whole Nelk boys, I think they were all there. It was a jam-packed night. Mike Tyson. Hell of a night. Shout out to Ski Master Slump God, my friend. He was there in the building. Comment down below. Show you guys his opinion. How do you guys feel about this card? UFC 287. I'm sound. I'm out. That's my reaction. Izzy, the motherfucking GOAT.